I really want to learn about this debt cycle thing. I keep on hearing about debt money economy, how it works. This is going to be very difficult for you to do, I'm sure. Can you imagine that I'm an idiot just for a moment and try and explain to me how the debt money cycle works?
Gladly. And it really is simple.
We'll see. We'll see if you can stress test just how simple I am. But yeah, okay. Let's give it a crack.
Okay. The system works like the circulatory system of your body that brings nutrients in the form of buying power by credit. It brings credit, and that credit produces debt. However, when it produces that debt, if you earn enough money because of that credit, it will pay back that credit and you will have a healthy system. If it doesn't, it will build up debt and debt service payments like plaque in the arteries of your system that will squeeze out other spending. That is true for you. That's true for governments. Okay. The only difference between your finances or a company's finances or the government's finances is the government has the ability to print money to pay off those debts, and it has the ability to take money from others by taxes. But the economics work the same. So a healthy system, and you can watch it almost like a doctor watching an MRI. You can see that happening, and I'll take you through it for the U.S. government. I'll explain it, but that is now happening, and you see the debt service squeezing out other spending, and I'll take you through it in a minute. The second thing to know about that is when you run a deficit and have a lot of debt, you have to sell that debt to a buyer. So there's a supply and a demand for debt. One man's debts are another man's assets. And if they believe that that's a good storehold of wealth and they get an adequate real return, they will hold that debt and so on. If they believe that it's not only will they not buy the new debt, but they may sell the old debt. And when they sell the old debt, the selling is greater relative to the buying. And like anything, when the selling is greater relative to the buying, the price goes down and the interest rate goes up. And that's to ration debt. Okay. So what do central banks do? Okay. They print money and buy the debt like our central banks did. Okay. And they always do that. And so that's part of the mechanics. So that is the dynamic. So now let's look at the United States government. The United States government this year will spend about $7 trillion, and it will take in about $5 trillion. Okay, so it's spending 40% more than it is taking in. And because it's spent a lot more than it has taken in for a long time, it has a lot of debt. Its debt is about 6 times what it takes in every year. And it can't really cut back on expenses because some of those expenses are the things are commitments, like you have to pay off the debt with the interest rate. And the debt rollover, the debt service is huge. So there's a deficit, 7 minus 5 equals 2 trillion. Okay. 1 trillion of that is interest that keeps building up because you build up the debt. In addition, you have to roll over $9 trillion worth of debt that's expiring. So that's 10 trillion.
What does expiring mean?
It's rolling off. It's maturing. End of that. So I got to sell. I got to sell to replace that. And then in addition to that, so we have the interest, 1 trillion interest, 9 trillion expiring, plus the new 2 makes 12 trillion that I have to sell. Okay. The buyers have a lot of these debt assets and are not, for various reasons, not eager to buy that debt. International buyers don't want to buy that debt because, look, who are the biggest international buyers? Chinese and Japanese, for example. Okay, we're at the brink of war, the geopolitical situation. And anyway, they've got too much and everybody's worried about it. Okay, so now, okay, I'm going to pause here. I could go on at length, but you asked me to describe the situation clearly in a way that could be understood. Does that help you?
I'm starting to get a bit of a grasp on it.